Alrighty. Time to pull this GSR swap out. This green EG. Yes, sir. Yeah, because the EK, you have to go to the firewall to get the harness in. This is pretty nice. Like, it's legit all plug and play from the outside. How it should be. Sorry. Quick backstory on this car. Traded my EP3 for this thing. Drove an hour away. I forgot what year this is. 93? Bye-bye. That's one. Whew. Alright, so I got the axles off of the spindles. Time to drain the training fluid. Then I'm gonna undo the fuel lines right there. Shift linkage, header, then motor mounts, and then last thing will be the coolant flush since it gets very messy, and then should be good to go to come out. Phone's hot, so I'm not gonna be able to record this part, but pretty much unhooking the header from the exhaust and then going to remove this bad boy from the block. Alright, so we got the header off the car now. Now it's time to go back under it. I'm gonna undo the shift linkage from the block, not the actual car yet. Undo that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drain the tranny fluid. And I believe all that has to be done left after this is the fuel lines, motor mounts, and coolant. And then this should be able to come out, and then we're good to go with this. So one thing I wanted to note when it comes to removing the shift linkage in any B-Series cars, there's gonna be a little pin here, and what's covering this pin is a little clamper here. So you're gonna want to either remove this or turn it around. That's what I did at first. I turned it around, but it popped up with impact. And then what you're gonna have to do is find something that's small enough to fit in this hole, because there's a little pin in there. So I used a 1/4-inch extension. Fits in there pretty good. You have to hammer it out. It's a pin. Hammer the pin out. Once that pin comes out, this will be able to disengage from the transmission, and you'll be able to pull right out. And then for this side, it looks like it's just a little 10. So I think the 10 millimeter, just take that off, and then the linkages will be able to just dangle off the car. And once you do that, this is the little pin. Make sure you do not lose that. You will need this to put the linkages back on the car. Alrighty, so transmission's drained now. I'm working on taking off the slave right here off of the block, and then probably gonna pop these axles out, and then coolant, and then have my buddy Julio. We're gonna work on pulling this bad boy out, and then basically done. Then put the suspension components back on real quick. It'll be a rolling shell for now. Put it back over there. Time when I have a chance, we're gonna have the sedan and the EG hatch side by side, and basically swap all the suspension components on this car, because this car has GSR front brakes, has GSR rear discs, and definitely want that on the hatch for better suspension. Cooling time. Yep. Took a little break, took a snack break. About to button up everything back up. Put the knuckle on the upper camber arm, and then put the shock fork back on there, tighten it up. Put a steely back on here so these things don't sit in the sun and bake these tires, because they're still good. Little NTO3s, 15x7s. Button it up, pull the swap out, and then call it a day. So after a gruesome hour, because that rear mount was very, very difficult to get to, that one right there, had to remove the stock GSR manifold, which terrible design, by the way. Bolts are very hard to get to, but about an hour and a half and Julio's help, finally took it off. And all 3 motor mounts are loose. Torque mount is taken off, so about to bring the engine hoist over here and remove this motor. Woo! Beautiful. Motor's out. Look at this thing. Motor's finally out. Next step, take the tranny off. Put this thing on an engine stand and then, I don't know, part it out. Alright, so just to recap, motor got pulled. And then that should be good to go to throw in the EG.